Imagine this. It's Christmas Day, 1066. You're in Westminster Abbey. The air is cold, the mood is tense, and a new king is about to be crowned. Sounds peaceful, right? Well, not exactly. Because what happens next is pure chaos, fires, riots, and a king crowned in the middle of utter panic. William the Conqueror, the first king of England, to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. And trust me, it's a story you don't want to miss. In just a few minutes, you'll learn how William turned this grand ceremony into one of the most chaotic coronations in history. You'll also find out how his guards managed to set the tone for what not to do at royal events. But before we dive in, I want you to think about this. If you were at a coronation and suddenly heard shouting, chaos, and even smelled smoke, would you stay or run for the hills? Let me know in the comments below, because that's exactly what the people in Westminster Abbey had to decide. All right, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's journey back to one of the wildest moments in English history. Let's do this. Let's rewind to December 25th, 1066. William the Conqueror had just won the Battle of Hastings, defeating Harold Godwinson, and now he needed to make his claim to the English throne official. The coronation at Westminster Abbey was the final step. But this wasn't just about tradition. Oh no. William wanted to make a statement. By choosing Christmas Day, a date associated with divine approval, and following the customs of the Byzantine and Holy Roman emperors, he was saying, this isn't just politics. This is destiny. Pretty bold, huh? But here's the thing. Not everyone was thrilled about William's destiny. The Anglo-Saxon nobility weren't exactly overjoyed about a Norman king. And outside the abbey, Norman guards, armed to the teeth, ready to defend their new ruler. It's safe to say the vibe was tense. So, let me ask you this. If you were William, would you feel confident or terrified walking into that abbey? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I can tell you this was no walk in the park. The abbey was packed with Anglo-Saxon nobles, Norman soldiers, priests, and clergy. The ceremony began like any grand coronation, majestic hymns, prayers, and oaths. William, dressed in royal robes, knelt before the bishop. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. Then came the moment of acclamation, a traditional shout of approval from the congregation to signify their loyalty to the new king. Sounds harmless, right? A big cheer to say, we're on your side. But here's where things take a wild turn. The Norman guards outside the abbey didn't know that. When they heard the thunderous roar, they didn't think, oh, how nice. They thought, oh, rebellion. And their reaction? Absolute panic. Thinking the Anglo-Saxons were revolting, the Norman guards did what any calm, reasonable soldiers would do. They set fire to nearby houses. Yeah, you heard that right. They thought burning down a few buildings would restore order. But surprise, surprise, it didn't. Instead, the fires caused full-blown chaos. Rioting and looting erupted in the streets, people ran for their lives, and the once grand coronation turned into absolute mayhem. Can you imagine the scene inside the abbey? You're dressed in your Sunday best, ready to witness history, and suddenly you hear screaming, see smoke, and realize the guards are burning down the neighborhood. What do you do? Stay or run? Let me know your survival instincts in the comments, because most people chose run. Despite the chaos, the ceremony continued. William was visibly shaken, but he stayed put. He wasn't about to let a little rioting ruin his big moment. The crown was placed on his head, the oaths were said, and just like that, William was officially the King of England. But let's be honest, this wasn't the triumphant, unifying moment he'd hoped for. Instead of cheers of loyalty, his coronation was overshadowed by fire and fear. So, what do we learn from this? First, maybe don't mix high-stakes politics with armed guards who don't understand local traditions. Second, William's coronation wasn't just a historic moment, it was a fiery reminder of the tensions between the Normans and the Anglo-Saxons. And here's a fun fact. William managed to hold onto his throne, despite this rocky start, reshaping England in ways that are still felt today. Not bad for a guy whose coronation nearly burned down. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the past. What did you think of William's chaotic coronation? Would you have stuck around in that abbey or bolted the moment you smelled smoke? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a wild moment from history. Until next time, stay curious.